Hi there, I'm Mona Loy. This is my third attempt at trying to get this video to work, and I'm the managing editor of Blackbright News. And today, this topic is about a common topic about why black women are single. And I'm going to show you it from an American perspective, and then I'm going to put my UK take on it. So I hope you find it interesting. This is a video that I received about an American, the men are actually talking about why women are single.
Well, a story that we aired last week about single African-American women looking for good black men, it got a lot of people talking.
We hear from viewers who posted comments on our Facebook page and called the newsroom.
But some of the reaction came from black men who say that the story struck a nerve. Let's go now to WDSU reporter Tiffany Bradley, who has their side.
Many African-American women say there's a shortage of good black men, and that feeling has many crying foul, in particular black men themselves.
They have some great men out here.
So I headed to the one place black men feel comfortable talking about anything, the barbershop.
A woman is in position to push a man forward.
Here we found a small group of men chatting about relationships.
Even though all the obstacles that we had to overcome, all the stuff from 1980 with dealing with drugs and poverty and lack of education, we're still making it in 2011.
Owner Wilbert Wilson says there is a disproportionate number of black men behind bars, unemployed and lacking education. But he says that doesn't mean good black men are obsolete. Some of his clients agree.
How are you defining a good black man? To me, in my perspective, in my opinion, a good black man is a man that will love you like he loves his daughter.
Wilson says he's a product of epidemic struggles within the African-American community. He sold drugs when he was younger. Then at 34, he met his future wife, Joyce. He was out of work with only a high school education and living at home with his parents.
And I told her that I was in barber school and I was going to be finishing up maybe in 2 more months.
Wilson says his wife took a chance on him.
We've been married 6 years, and my wife worked for me. She used to work for Shell, Narco, EPA inspector. Now she works at Mr. Chills.
I think the show.
Counselor Kenneth Foy says more black women should take that leap of faith.
A lot of those women have been educated, they got good careers, and I think they have shortened the scope by looking for educated guys.
Now, there are some single black men out there. For instance, Craig Stewart. He says he's still searching for Mrs. Right.
Like my dad told me, he said, you have to meet a woman that's going the same direction you're going. You can help her, she can help you.
And even with the small pool of eligible bachelors, black women are least likely out of all races to date someone who isn't African American. It's something their counterparts usually don't think twice about.
In my mind, it's not the color. It's what this person do to make you happy.
It is most common.
But the marriage counselor we talked to believes for black men, it's more than just black and white.
Sometimes because of the strong will of the African American woman, it come across many times as disrespectful.
On your side, Tiffany Bradley, WDSU News.
And you can see what some of our viewers think right now on our Facebook page. Here's one as a 45-year-old.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting, and there were some key points that I picked up from that video. The main one being that a black woman who is educated, in work, and who has got it going on, so to speak, is in a position to push her black man forward. Now, she can only do this if he is willing and able. I mean, it's no point taking up somebody who's not interested in working, who's not interested, who doesn't have any ambitions or anything like that. But if a woman meets a man who is doing something for himself, who's already started something for himself, and like the guy who's got the barber shop now, I mean, he was going to barber school. He was living in his parents' home. And, a lot of women would say, oh, well, he hasn't got any ambition. He's living with his parents, blah, blah, blah. But he is showing that he has ambition because it's already started in an area he wants to go. So that woman can take a gamble on that man and just see what the result was. They've been married for 6 years. Congratulations. And he's got his own barbershop. Now, a lot of women are looking for ready-made eligible bachelors, and that ain't happening. Like the video showed, a disproportionate amount of men are behind bars, uneducated, or on drugs or doing something like that. But it doesn't mean to say they're not good men. The man in the chair said his definition of a good man is that he loves his woman as he loves his daughter. And what more can you ask of a man than that? So sometimes you have to look at the man's history. How did he get in that place he was in? Are his parents a contributory factor? I mean, there's two sides of the coin here. We don't want to go rescuing people who are wayward and don't have any ambition and who have given up and who are not strong and who have found themselves in drugs out of weakness. But if it is about, if you can see a potential in someone, should you invest in that person? Should you take a leap of faith? That is a hard one, because some people are on drugs. You've seen it all the time. They end up selling everything in your home. They become violent. So you have to be very discerning when you're making these kind of decisions. So by no means am I endorsing taking up people on drugs, people who have come out of prison, or people who are uneducated. But especially with the uneducated, they can be educated if they want to learn. It depends on what somebody's gone in prison for and the circumstances around it, and maybe they have turned themselves around. So it is a question of that. What else was there? Taking a leap of faith. Yeah, what was interested in one of the men who was looking for his eligible wife was saying that they need to be going in the same direction, and that is key. You need to have similar beliefs, similar morals, similar ambitions. It's no point taking up somebody who wants to stay in this country when you want to travel abroad. No point taking up a Christian if you're an atheist, even though they do say people can turn people around. But it just makes it easier if you have a lot of similarities, and especially with core beliefs. That's really important, because they can actually break a relationship if you're not on the same page. So if you are going in the same direction and you want the same things, regardless of how uneducated a person is or their background, you can work with them and make it work. Like, I thought what was interesting in is that, a strong-willed woman will come over as aggressive and disrespectful. I think that is fundamentally true. And yet a black man, though, some of them come over as aggressive and we kind of understand their vibe. We don't kind of shun them away. So I don't see why men should shun women away who are strong, assertive, and who know what they want. I find that black British men are more intimidated by black women than those from Africa, the Caribbean, or even America, who are used to, women who are a bit more assertive and who express themselves more openly. So I think that that's a cop-out when a black man says a woman is too aggressive and I can't deal with her, or she's too argumentative. It just means they've got no balls as far as I'm concerned. What can a woman do that's that bad, providing she's not disrespecting you? I'm not talking about that, but about asserting her needs and asserting what she wants. I don't see nothing wrong in that. There are ways of putting yourself forward, and I've seen a lot of videos where women are downright disrespectful. I'm not talking about those type of women, but I'm talking about a woman who will say, look, I'm not tolerating that. I don't want that. These are my boundaries. Those are the women I'm saying that, you don't shun away from women like that, because it's important that people express themselves in a free way and a way that can be accepted by somebody who understands where she's coming from. Women looking in the wrong places. Well, Are they looking at all? A lot of women aren't looking at all. They've given up. So, but I think what the video showed me is that you need to widen your scope. You need to think out of the box. You need to look, if you are looking for a mate, and you are an intelligent woman, not to dismiss people who are less educated than you, who don't have as much as you, who are not homeowners, who are not car drivers. Don't dismiss them, because fundamentally they could be good people just looking for that extra support and a chance to get on the ladder so that they are actually as equal as you are. Because education is so easy and to acquire these days, and oftentimes it's much more useful to have common sense than it is to have education. You can have some people who are educated and they don't know jack. So don't place yourself too high on the ladder just because you consider yourself affluent, because you could be stronger with a mate who is, who has all of those things that you lack. And that's what makes life more interesting. So I hope you found this useful, and that's all for now. Ciao. And this is Lady Lawyer, Blackbright News, signing out.